Right turns at red lights are insanely dangerous and should be illegal. I've seen people arguing about this on social media, starting with this person who said, I just found out that Americans can drive through a red light if they're turning right and there's no vehicles coming. And they found that very strange. I guess they can't do that in their country. But this triggered an avalanche of people saying, yeah, it shouldn't be legal in the United States either. Saying if you are a pedestrian, the number one cause of drivers almost running you over is them taking a right turn on red. Because you have a walk signal at the intersection and the driver's instructions are, well, you can turn if there's no pedestrians there. And as a pedestrian, I can tell you, drivers are not good at checking for this. And as a driver, taking right turns on red is the most unsafe thing I am routinely asked to do. And when I say asked to do, if I'm sitting at a busy intersection, I've got a red light and there's a lot of traffic coming, I have had the vehicle behind me honk at me because I failed to turn out into traffic because there was a 2-second gap in the cars. And there are intersections all over the city that do not have this sign, where there is very poor visibility at that intersection in terms of seeing the traffic that's coming from your left. There's landscaping or signage or something obstructing that view. But you are expected to pull out into traffic if you have a gap. The drivers behind you get very angry if you don't do that. And I have absolutely had vehicles behind me start honking because I waited for a pedestrian. Because they perceived that the pedestrian had proceeded far enough into the crosswalk that I could squeeze past them in my vehicle. But the one time I almost died while walking my dog was a vehicle doing just that. It was a big black SUV and they were sitting at a red light and either didn't see me or decided that I should have been walking faster. Either way, they pulled out and I basically had to jump out of the way. I can't find statistics on how many accidents and or pedestrian deaths are caused specifically by this. But just in my personal experience, in terms of the amount of close calls and distress it causes, nothing else is close. So my question is, do you live in one of the places where this isn't allowed?